Hello and welcome to today's video. It's a rambler, and it actually wasn't going to be a rambler about the future of the channel at first. Um, I was just going to kind of change the way I was doing things starting today, um, but the stats didn't come out in time for uh, LCP and LPL in the way I wanted to do it. But we're going to bounce this off of the viewership here, those that are subscribed that want to watch, and kind of how I'm viewing the channel going into 2026. So, also, please comment down below suggestions that you may have for content that you might think stats and things that might be interesting to investigate if possible. Um, so, early on, honestly, the foundation for this channel was daily League of Legends content around daily recaps of games, stats. I actually in the beginning it was a full fucking board of literally every little fucking thing that happened, really giving you a play-by-play essentially of how the game transpired. Now that was very ambitious, and that happened when I wasn't working full time. Now I'm working full time for a couple of years now, and it's just not feasible to do it that way. But I also then started backing off on that and doing daily content, recapping games with less information on the board, just hitting the key stats, maybe talking about the games briefly. And I'm debating on kind of returning to that type of content, but in a more organized fashion. And in a way that honestly is very traditional sports mindset. I feel like it's something that could be done in esports that is not done and could be done at a high level. Unfortunately, without the stats being popped out in time, it really makes it hard to do the content at a high level. Without grid, you don't get the stats. So you kind of are beholden to these websites that just for some reason don't have the stats available to them in time, whether that is right or them is one thing or another. Now I understand, doing this is kind of like, hey, essentially saying, like, hey, I want to get more, how do you get more viewers and this and that? But it's not really that as much as it's like, what do you guys want to see? And also, I'm thinking to myself, I want to kind of return to that sort of content now that I have a more predictable and routine like work schedule that I can easily work around and do daily content in the same way. Two things that I consider when I do this. One, if I truly wanted to maximize viewership and didn't like have my mindset of I want to treat every region the same, because I do, I would just be doing CB content, and then I would also be doing Gamba content, because clearly those two are the money makers, right? I don't do that. I've had countless people ask me to do CBLOL related content or betting related content. And although the money is there, I do care about keeping all regions equal in my mind, because although I do think Brazil has the most passionate fan base in the West, it has, for especially given how much the teams have struggled throughout their time. And honestly, I think CBLOL is the most competitive region going into 2026 as well, in just terms of domestic, um, um, the way the teams are built, etc. Even Los being first going into today and then losing to Payne, who was literally last, is a little bit to show just how close and competitive I think CBLOL will be in 2026. But regardless, not making CBLOL content every day, despite that being the majority of my subscriber base, the majority of what people, I would say, even really want, for lack of a better word, even though I'm asking what do you think you might want. Um, it's just not something that I feel comfortable doing. I do not want to do content that is swayed towards one region more so than others. I do think the player rankings and team rankings weekly is pushing it, but something I could do 4 times a week and then fill in the other 3 days. That's another option I have. But I also want to consider trying to help this community we've kind of built out, it feels so fucking weird every time I think about the fact that there is a community that watches my content. I mean, the Discord is rather active. It's been more active in the past. I would say it's definitely on a downward trajectory. But that's in part due to the amount of work I've done, and also maybe being a little more cutthroat on the delusional takes in the Discord, because I can't fucking stand people just saying stupid shit. But yeah, so thinking about content and the type of content I want to make. Like, I didn't do a patch video yet this year, right? I was doing patch videos in 2024 in a different way, beginning and end of each patch. Looking at what the patch might bring plus what it ended up bringing. And then in 2025, only doing what it might bring. And that content didn't kind of come out this year, and no one's really said anything one way or another about it. So if you do like that sort of content, comment down below, and maybe we can continue doing it again in 2026. But I don't know. I'm just thinking back to, like, there is a way to do daily content at a high level in LOL esports. It's just a matter of having the the tools to do it. I do think it's like doing daily content. Like, I really do. I think it's so doable. I don't know why I'm doing. I guess what I'm trying to say is the future of the channel. Like, comment down below the ideas that you might have, things like that you might find interesting stat wise. But I'm thinking of bringing back the daily roundup sort of content, but doing it differently. And it may actually include abandoning the board. And that's because I believe there is a way to do the content at a very high level that does not include the board. I do like the board for more of the player ranking stats stuff, the power rankings, etc. But in terms of recapping games, I think it is better not to use the board. That makes it a little more difficult. That makes it a little more involved. The whole making of the video process. It may cause me to have to change my setup and allow me an opportunity to do so. But I do think it can be done at a high level. It's just I need the stats, because in the end, this channel will always be based on stats. And if it's not, it's going to be rambling. It's going to be something where I say, this is my opinion without any sort of research to back it up prior to. I do believe that's forever. I'm going to try and always be statistically sound, analytically sound. Things have to make sense by the numbers when I'm trying to make content that is not opinion without facts, I guess, if you will. So yeah, that is a thing. So I guess the future of the channel, the videos are still going to be coming up. It's just a matter of how we want to do it. And it may include bringing back daily content on the board until I figure out how I want to do it off of it. Maybe I start doing it off of it on a day like Tuesday when we have a light schedule, and go from there. But I think it is extremely possible to overhaul the way I do content in a daily format and do it at a very, very high level. I mean, it's just like, okay, you're saying things, why don't you just do it? And it's like, well, I want to see how that plays off, because last year I did not do that. I did not do daily content reviewing the games. I had the predictions. The predictions just get published after the games. They're no longer useful for bettors and gamblers, etc. But I did daily content in other ways, the stats, players of the week, etc. But in years past, I didn't do it that way. I did it with reviewing the games that took place, giving you a 10 to 15 minute video. Hey, watch this. You didn't watch the LCK LPL this morning. You don't have fucking time to watch the highlight videos. This is going to be shorter for you, and it's going to give you all the information you may need to figure out what happened in that morning. And that's kind of the way I did it. That's the way I would like to continue doing it. It's just doing it in a much better way. So, I don't know if you guys liked that before, but it's probably the way I'm looking at going in 2026. So, Thank you for watching. If you liked the video, like it. Subscribe to the channel for daily League of Legends content. Follow me on Twitter, join the Discord, become a YouTube supporter, and hope to see you again tomorrow.